What if the greatest power lies not in what you show, but what you hide? In the 19th century, Arthur Schopenhauer, a philosopher dismissed in his time, uncovered a disturbing truth. Humanity fears visible genius, but worships accidental mastery. From samurai disguising their blades to CEOs fumbling their way to billion-dollar deals, history's winners share one tactic: strategic invisibility. Today, we dissect Schopenhauer's 5 forbidden laws for turning weakness into weaponry. This isn't self-help. This is social warfare. One should not openly display all of one's strength, but rather appear slightly weaker, so that when the critical moment arrives, one can reveal their full power to the surprise of the opponent. This strategy has been employed by many great fighters throughout history. The art of surprise, pretending to be weaker than one truly is to mislead opponents, only to act decisively at the right moment and secure victory. As Sun Tzu once said, all warfare is based on deception. Hence, when we are able to attack, we must seem unable. When using our forces, we must appear inactive. In 216 BCE, Hannibal Barca lured Rome's legions into the trap of Cannae by feigning disarray. His retreating troops collapsed into a crescent shape, then encircled and slaughtered 50,000 Romans in hours. Schopenhauer saw this as the illusion of weakness. Let others mistake restraint for incapacity. Today, this plays out when a junior employee struggles with a project early on, only to deliver flawless results that redefine their reputation. Wisdom is knowing when to speak and when to listen. There are 2 types of people in any setting: those who never stop talking and those who quietly listen without saying much. The former often aren't taken seriously unless they are your bosses. Arthur Schopenhauer emphasized the same idea. Wisdom lies in knowing when to speak. You should play dumb, but not be ignorant. It's about knowing when to talk, and more importantly, when to listen. The ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus spent years as a slave, mastering silence under tyranny. Later, as Rome's most sought-after teacher, he'd let students debate for hours before asking, "What have you not considered?" A tactic Schopenhauer later mirrored in his salons. Plato's words cut deeper today. Wise men speak because they have something to say, fools because they have to say something. Studies show leaders who listen first speak 32% less, but influence 68% more decisions. As Gandhi advised, speak only if it improves upon the silence. Letting them think they've solved their problems on their own fosters an environment of respect and dignity. You might have seen professional athletes allowing a disabled fan to win a match after a bit of struggle, making that person feel as if they triumphed on their own. As Schopenhauer stated, to play the fool is the last resort to cover the defects of others. In 1944, psychologist Kurt Lewin proved that people adopt ideas 7 times faster when they believe they generated them, a principle Steve Jobs exploited. He'd casually leave sketches of Apple prototypes in cafes, letting engineers stumble upon them. At work, this means asking, could we test this backup plan? Instead of declaring your boss's strategy flawed, you become the ghost in the machine, unseen but essential. Arthur Schopenhauer elaborated on this idea, suggesting you act as if you don't know anything until the right moment arrives. As the saying goes, to enjoy the benefits of being seen as foolish, we must be willing to appear foolish to get ahead. In the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu states, "The sage wears rough clothing and holds the jewel in his heart." When inventor James Watt developed the steam engine, he downplayed its potential for years, calling it a curio, while secretly patenting improvements. By the time rivals noticed, he'd monopolized an industrial revolution. Socrates, "I know that I know nothing." It wasn't humility, it was a trap. By playing the fool, he exposed Athenian elite's ignorance, proving wisdom hides brightest in shadows. Frank Lucas put this beautifully. The loudest one in the room is the weakest one in the room. Arthur Schopenhauer suggested responding to victories as if they happened by chance. Be kind and compassionate to others, for everyone is fighting their own battles. In 1994, Jeff Bezos emailed Amazon's first investors, 70% chance you'll lose all your money. His pessimism masked ruthless calculation, a tactic mirroring Schopenhauer's strategic modesty. A Yale study found that teams led by humble CEOs outperform arrogant ones by 19%. Victory tastes sweetest when others insist you deserve it. Schopenhauer's genius wasn't in being right, it was in letting others think they were right. Until history proved otherwise, play the game, but let the world keep score.